Very scientific approach to it is the diagnostic manual. There's the ICD-9, DSM-4. Basically it's what counselors are trained in. For various mental health professionals, I'll say mental health professionals are trained in.
Where are they trained?
Their education through our educational system, higher educational system. The majority of people, and this probably gets, I'm going to lead it to where I think the question is how do we determine somebody's mental illness, particularly if we're going to involuntarily commit someone. We have initiating professionals who can initiate those things. Every single one of them is a master's level or higher, who determines based on their mental health teaching how to identify through the diagnostic manuals, basically the ICD-9, which is the International Classification of Diseases. Sorry, it's very wonky. Or the Diagnostic Statistical Manual by the Psychological Association. Those are the two tools that we're trained on, that people are trained on to determine what is a mental disorder. Mental disorders, and this is, I hate to get into a whole lecture, but mental disorders is a broad range. It includes autism in those two manuals. It includes developmental disabilities. It includes substance use disorders. So it's a broad range of what is determined as a mental disorder, and they're called mental disorders. And that's where our system has fragmented some of those disorders. We have specialty services for autism. In state law, it says that the insurance companies cannot determine autism as a mental disorder. It says it right in insurance law, so that autism doesn't get treated as a mental disorder, it gets treated as a physical disorder because the insurance companies won't pay for it. So there's a variety of different things that we have fragmented the system. What we're trying to do is pull it all together, try to combine and make this more meaningful for individuals. So I didn't mean to get into a big lecture about the whole how it's done, but it helps to understand the perspective of where things come from.
But you're using the term mental health as mental disorder. I mean, I don't understand.
Stigma. Stigma has created a whole new language because of people's identification. When I say eating disorders, those are not the people who, when there's a 15-year-old girl with an eating disorder, is she a threat to our community? Does anybody perceive that as a threat to our community? Mental disorders has a variety of ranges. And when we have to really keep that stigma out of it. And so what we have done is created a new language, behavioral health. Rather than just say mental disorders, which is encompassing of both substance and mental health issues, we have segmented and fragmented substance separate of mental health, but it's all inclusive. And it's the stigma that is associated with different disorders that has created a new language, and it makes it very confusing.
Can I speak to the language?
Yes.
And I'd like to speak to the language because we do a lot of this at our organization. The language is very important. We want to refer to these health conditions respectfully. So when we speak about mental illness, we're speaking about a mental health condition where there's a compromise in someone's ability to think or function. When we think about substance use, we want to refer to those as substance use disorders. And it's very important that when we speak about these conditions, we use person-first language, meaning that it is an individual, a person first, who has a health condition. So your concern about, is it mental illness or a mental health condition? Well, the more forward, stigma reducing, and we want to reduce the stigma because then people will want and feel comfortable getting the help that they need. It's very important. Yeah, I don't.
Yes. Actually, we're already over time, so we're going to have to wrap up. I think I did see another elected official come in.